a 3 and a 2 and a 1 and a... It's the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast coming to you live on Double C TV, featuring Darren.
Oh god, we're doomed.
And Double C. Wrestling gets you laid. Gotcha. As they take on 5 hours of WWE programming.
I'm pretty sure he fudged it just while he was doing the Hurricane Run. Like, oh god, I don't know how to do this correctly.
Yeah, once again, we are back and doing another episode of Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast on twitch.tv/doublectv, part of the network of shows I do. That's including this one, and Pathfinder, and me getting drunk and playing Genesis games. Name pending.
Name pending?
Yes.
Jeez. And seeing as the Pathfinder game has me involved in this, I'm pretty much like half of your shows already.
Yeah, it's like that, yes, but you know what? Starting small. Now.
I feel like Bruce Campbell to your Sam Raimi. If only I had the chin.
We got another Smackdown, another Raw. Raw was not live. Actually, it was on tape delay by about 5 or so hours.
That's kind of expected at this point. Simply due to it being in London.
Yeah.
Which explains why that last match probably looked so good.
Well, sort of. Well, we'll get to that when we get to that. Because, first of all, we got a Smackdown to take care of from the 19th.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Damn it.
So, Smackdown starts out with a match. Huzzah.
Hooray?
Mr. Fandango versus Santino Marella.
Gee, I wonder how this is gonna go.
Well, you see, first Fandango hits on Lillian Garcia. And does, like, dance moves and then drops her.
Nice.
Yes. And then Santino comes out and is all like, "Oh, you think you can dance? I can dance too." He takes out the Cobras like, "We do Slither two-step."
That sounds more like a very bad Japanese accent you're going with. You're going with old school kung fu rather than Italian Canadian.
Right. Yeah, more Mr. Fuji, less Santino.
Yeah, you'll have to get it a little bit more like this. And I'm not even doing it right. This is more of a Spaniard accent.
So, this is a squash match, but Fandango unveils his finisher.
What is his finisher?
It's a complete shot. Like maneuver.
Finisher. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what I think you think it means.
Right.
I'm sorry, I had to pull that one out. It was either that or, "Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die."
So,
which is actually this is actually fitting because Andre the Giant was in that movie.
Yes, he was in that movie. Best performance by Andre the Giant.
Only performance by Andre the Giant, to be said.
Well, yeah.
But it was a really good one.
Yeah, it was a really good one.
Sorry, we're getting off track here. What was the match again? I'm sorry.
Fandango wins with the complete shot. Name pending.
It's gonna be like some sort of like dance pun, like the dip.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Next we go backstage with Booker T and Teddy Long. And then with the Big Show. Big Show comes out. He's all like, "Finally! Thank you for giving me a tag partner because I've been horribly, horribly outnumbered." And then Teddy Long is like, "That's, you're welcome, playa." And Booker T's all like,
"Oh, you're welcome, playa. We're gonna pass over Mark Henry to you." What?
In a tag team match. And Booker T is all like, "No, you can't make matches." And he's really pissed about it.
Because, I mean, it's not like he's done this before.
Right. It's brewing. That's it. That's what this segment
The
was all about.
The storm is brewing.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, this is going to be a weird thing, but do you think there's going to be, like, a team-up between, like, Maddox and Teddy Long against Booker T and Vicky?
Ooh, that is...
That's weird, but from what I'm getting from, there seems to be a lot of tension in the same parts, like what Vicky is doing with Brad and what Teddy is doing with Booker.
Huh. Kind of like mirroring each other.
Yeah, it's mirroring each other. So you think it's going to be a double-way tag team thing where Teddy and Brad are going to try to usurp the shows?
I don't know. It's too early to tell.
It feels like... I don't know. It just feels like it's going that way.
Interesting. Next up, we have a second match. Kofi Kingston versus Wade Barrett in a champion versus champion match.
Interesting.
In this match...
Is it any good?
Well, it was okay. It still seems weird having Kofi Kingston with a title because even though he's had the title a lot, several times, both the US and the IC title, it still seems weird, and the announcers are like, he's a wildcat. And I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Really?
Which one of the geniuses said that?
I don't know. But this is Kofi's once again being revitalized because he can't cut it after being revitalized. Again.
I think it's like I think it's simply that they just keep on piling shit on top of Kofi.
Yeah. Anyways.
Which I'm kind of sad about, because I do like Kofi Kingston. He's not a bad wrestler. He's just a lot of aerials. He's got a lot of aerials, but that's pretty much his only gambit. He's not good ground. He's a good aerial guy.
Yeah, he's still not over for me to be main event.
I could actually see him on main event.
Well, yeah, the show, but not...
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, Barrett dominates. However, Kofi pulls off the victory with a crucifix pin.
Ah, what a twist.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, I don't see like these domination matches in a while. Sarcasm.
Yeah. Backstage interview with Mark Henry, and he gets asked the question, "Why did you attack Sheamus?" And Henry replies, "It's what I do." And
you mean you attack random people just for no reason because they look at you funny?
Yes. And then he gets blindsided by Sheamus.
Something tells me that ye old writers are once again out of their pool of smartness.
I don't know. I've said this before, but I like the off-camera sneak attacks. I'm a fan because it's funny.
It's funny, yes, because how the fuck are they not seeing it? But I'm sorry, there's gotta be a better reason if you're gonna feud otherwise from because. You could go and if you want to try to do a storyline in this modern age, and that's what WWE is doing, it's trying to be more soap opera-ish. Okay, that's fine. But you gotta give them better reasons than "that's what I do."
It's his catchphrase.
I know it's his catchphrase, but, give him a reason outside of it. Like, everybody is behind Ryback right now. Why? He has a valid reason to hate John Cena.
Next up, we have Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger.
Yay.
In this match, Swagger has Del Rio's knee for breakfast, while Del Rio snacks on the shoulder of Jack Swagger. See, I'm doing puns here, and I'm failing at it.
I was gonna say, what the hell are you talking about? Are they literally chewing on each other now?
Well, it's like
Has
a
it gotten
headbutt to the knee or something like that. And Del Rio's working on the arm.
Headbutt to the knee.
Yes.
That sounds really stupid.
It was... Del Rio was sitting on the top rope when it happened. And he was like jumping off for like an axe handler or something. It's like, headbutt.
Was he like getting it from the side? Because if it's like a full-on headbutt to the knee, that's kind of stupid. You don't strike at the front of the knee. You strike the back of the knee, or you strike the side of the knee. That's the vulnerable parts of knees.
Yeah.
If he full-on headbutted a knee, he's getting knee to face. That's a knee strike to the face.
Yeah. Anyway,
am I getting through to you people at all?
I see what you're getting at, and I also see what the writers are getting at too. I'll explain in a minute here. Swagger throws Del Rio outside. It looks like he's not going to get in, but hey, he gets in. And submission counter to submission counter. Del Rio wins with a roll up afterwards. This makes sense because they're in the triple threat for Dolph Ziggler's title. And they're both injured. And they're fighting amongst themselves, making their injuries worse, going into the triple threat against a fresh Dolph Ziggler.
So pretty much what you're saying is that the two idiots are battling each other while the smart guy is just sitting back and watching the two idiots battle each other and wear each other out until he can win.
Yes. And it will get worse because...
And honestly...
Yeah.
When you think about it, Dolph Ziggler is going to push it off like that. Like he somehow planned this all along. Could you honestly believe seeing Dolph Ziggler say that sort of shit?
Yes.
No, I cannot. The guy is such an idiot. He doesn't get that credit for me.
Well, it's going to get worse because next week on SmackDown...
They do it again!
This time, no disqualification. Which is going to be even worse for their shoulder and knee.
Sometimes you wonder if the only times that some people win is out of sheer stupidity.
Wow.
And Dolph Ziggler wins by doing nothing.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, I'm full on right with that idea that that Dolph Ziggler is just gonna be a hold on to the title right now. If this is what type of run we're going with.
We'll see what's going on. We still have 4 weeks until the pay-per-view. Which is insane.
I'm gonna say that. Full out front face. That's how things are going. Everybody is an idiot.
Okay. Next up, we have a Shield promo video thing. Shaky cam.
Are they eating the cameras again?
No, they're not eating the cameras this time. However, it is a little bit of a shaky cam. I say a little bit because I think they turned on the shaky cam function and shook it a lot anyway. But it doesn't look like it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, they just were wiggling their hands around on the camera.
Right. They say that Ryback now knows the bite of justice from the Shield. And they also say that, Undertaker, your time is up. Legends need to be pushed aside and all that stuff. And it's time for the new guys to take over her. You know, the basic
new generation. That's kind of funny in hindsight when you say that it was, when you actually talk about the match itself. Because, well, we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, when we get to that. Next up, we have a 6-person tag team match. The Great Khali, Hornswoggle, and Natalya versus Primo, Epico, and Rosa Mendes.
God damn it.
Apparently this match took place because of a parking dispute.
I'm gonna drop my mic right now, and I'm gonna go scream in this corner if you don't mind.
Okay. Hornswoggle was driving his car with Kali and Natalia in it, and they were going to park at the arena. However, I mean, it's like not very many spaces left, and they spot one. But they were going to go get it, but Primo and Efico and Rosa Mendez, they took the spot instead, and now they're going to fight for it. Well, not fight for it.
My God!
Smackdown.
You wonder why I don't watch Smackdown.
It's okay. The announcers don't like this match either because JBL and Michael Cole decided to talk about James Bond and movies.
Ironically, that's probably some of the better that's probably 10 times better commentary over anything else that's going on right now.
Anyways, faces win because they're faces.
Waste of my time. And I haven't even watched the show and it's a waste of my time. Think about that.
But up next, it's our main event with Mark Henry and Big Show versus Randy Orton and Sheamus. In a match where both teams tag in and out, and they work well together. Everyone is surprised that Big Show and Mark Henry are working well together. Almost like they have a shared goal in mind. You know?
Gee, it's almost like they actually know what each other is doing and actually probably talked ahead of time.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's not... I mean, call me crazy, but do you think Randy Orton or Sheamus talked to each other ahead of time? No. They don't.
I think they did. And here's how it would pan out. Orton will say, okay, we got to get this going, right? And he'll spaz out. And then Sheamus will reply, that's right, fella.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty good excuse. I'll go with that.
I didn't pay much attention to the match regardless.
I don't think anybody does.
Big Show chokeslams Orton and heels win.
Hooray. Hooray. Don't care.
Next up. Let's talk about some indies.
I'm having more fun looking at my magic cards right now.
Ooh. Let's see. Oh yeah, indie talk. Let's do some indie talk. The invasion angle for my local wrestling promotion, Portland Wrestling Uncut, it finally took off. And it was just as stupid as Smackdown was. Now,
really? That surprises you?
Not real. Well, yes, because I watched that first before watching Smackdown.
Okay.
So here's how it went down. They've been teasing this whole invasion angle for a few weeks, showing clip shows and all that stuff. So the guys come in. Half the guys were people that showed up during the first few tapings, and the other half were actually from the other promotion. And people are going, oh, they're replacement wrestlers. No, they're scabs and all that stuff. And they're bickering. Roddy Piper comes out. He's all like, you gotta stop bitching and moaning and complaining. We're gonna fight. And the title is #1 contendership. Battle Royal. Do it. He's flinging around a kendo stick while he's saying all this stuff.
Interesting.
And so they have their Battle Royal with like 20 guys in the ring. And none of the scabs actually won the damn thing to begin with. It was a local guy anyway. Making this whole invasion thing, so far, completely pointless.
Completely pointless.
So, it's just not WWE. It's other places too.
So the stupid goes around. Gotcha.
Yes. Even though this promotion has its own problems because they can't seem to hold on to a certain storyline long enough. People turn face and heel for the heck of it. And
They don't know how to build properly.
Yeah. It's the same guys who had the territory in the 70s and all that stuff. It's just not working out.
I would say I'm surprised, but not really.
Oh, well, more updates to follow.
There's a reason why, like, the McMahons owned most of the East Coast. Because they're actually good freaking businessmen.
Yeah,
and I know that pains a lot of people to hear, but some people are just not good businessmen in this business.
Yeah. So let's get on to Raw is London on 5-hour delay.
Hooray.
The show starts out with Paul Heyman in the ring. He says
Yay.
He wants the answer to Triple H's answer. And he says that Triple H is not here because he sent me an email. But he's here.
I love this because this makes no sense logically. Alright, when did he send that email?
I think it might have been that day.
Makes no sense because if he send it next week, he'll give them the information next week. Alright, maybe he sent it a little bit later, but it probably was sent out right after the challenge was issued. Mm-hmm. I think that's the sort of way you would do the business. Or at least would do it properly.
Right. But, hey, Triple H is here anyway. And Paul Heyman is pissing himself. Not literally. That's what Triple H does.
Go on.
Triple H accepts, gives Paul Heyman the pedigree. Yay.
Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Beating up a defenseless man.
Yep.
And now...
But he deserves it.
You know, I was overtly what's the word? Crap, I forget it.
Me too.
I was overly enjoying when he first beat up Paul Heyman, but that's because after all the shit CM Punk was going through, seeing Paul Heyman get beat up just was somewhat refreshing, because the rage didn't stop that day. Cathartic is the word I'm searching for. Yeah. It was cathartic to see him get beat up. This, you're just beating him up for no reason whatsoever. And I'm not angry at anything because it's the beginning of the show.
Yeah. So, Heyman needs the pedigree, fade to black.
Hooray.
Match number 1. R-Truth versus Antonio Cesaro. In a match where R-Truth is rapping again.
And I said this on Twitter, and I'll say it again. Dear God, stop giving the guy a mic and rapping. Yeah, he's not a good rapper.
Well, he was. But he's out of practice.
It's not I don't like his rapping. I like him better when he's not doing the rapping.
I mean, Getting Rowdy wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
But of course, that was 2001.
Yeah, that was 2001. And you also were younger. You were 10 years younger, dude.
Yeah, that is true. Oh well.
You always got to remember that after certain years, it goes through rose-tinted colored glasses like that.
Yeah. Like the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Cesaro responds by yodeling. Because that's his gimmick now.
No, I thought his gimmick was losing now.
Well, he does that too. R-Truth hits that move thing again that he did last week and wins. Name pending.
What? We see a lot of that nowadays.
Yeah. It's almost like it's a running gag.
Yeah, sadly, yeah.
Then we go outside and there's a helicopter. And it's the Shield. They arrive by helicopter.
So they're going with this mercenary gimmick, aren't they?
No, this is actual footage of them arriving to the actual arena.
No, I know. I know, but why get a jet? Why not go on plane? Why go on, like, helicopter?
Because they just wrestled on a Smackdown event earlier that day, and it's a 3-hour drive to the O2 Arena. So they take a helicopter. And they're not the only ones. Who else? It was I forget the others that also did the I think it was Ryback.
Everybody did helicopter drop-ins. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that goes with my point. Excluded. Forget that. I honestly found it weird, but then that was just me, and I didn't know that. So that's probably what was happening. So forget my stupidity. That's just really weird.
Well, I thought it was really weird too, and then I read that. Anyways, so match number 2: Brodus Clay versus Damian Sandow. I didn't
go through this twice tonight.
Yeah, I didn't like this match. Sandow wins with a handful of trunks, but hey, it's almost like his hand gets, swallowed up by Brodus Clay body fat or something like that.
Well, that's just being mean at that point, dude. Don't make fun of a dude because he's fat. You make fun of the dude because he's a shitty wrestler.
Meh.
Which, to be honest, Brodus Clay's not that bad, but he's nothing to write home about.
Right. Next up, we go backstage with Dolph Ziggler and his most prized possession, the title. He confesses his love to the title, and then AJ shows up. It's like, hey.
Hey. Something tells me he's gonna fuck that title before he fucks her. Just saying it out loud.
It wouldn't be the first time a wrestler has done that. I mean, like, the whole Shawn Michaels and Winged Eagle belt thing, yeah.
I try to forget those sort of things, Casey. Do I have to go in with the My Little Pony jokes again?
Oh, I mean, JBL rides on the whole Ziggler wearing the title backwards, while Shawn Michaels posed naked with the Winged Eagle belt, for crying out loud.
That depends. Was he actually rubbing his dick against it?
I don't know. That's a Playgirl magazine. And yes, I bring up the Playgirl magazine again.
Okay, that's just business right there, dude. That's business right there. You can't argue with that sort of thing. It's good promotional material.
Moving on. Vicky.
And no, I'm not gay.
Vicky goes into the scene and says that, hey, if you lose, because you've been losing a lot lately to Chris Jericho, we're going to add Chris Jericho to your triple threat match. And Maddox is there too, and they pretty much finish each other's sentences, which I really like.
Which pretty much it does. It somehow gives off the same vibe, like I said before, with the Teddy Long thing.
Yeah, but in this instance, it's less combative.
I don't know. Vicky gave him a glare once in a while.
Well, yeah, but it's not like, hey, stop doing this. It's my show, sort of thing.
I think she's just being more annoyed by the fact that he's finishing her sentences.
I don't know. I like the chemistry.
It's a weird chemistry. And I'm still not down with Team Bricky.
I am.
That is a stupid name beyond all recognition. I'm sorry. I'm a bitter old man. I'm only 24.
Next up, we have another Shield promo. They say that they're taking over the Yard. They're going to defeat The Undertaker.
Once again, they eat the camera.
Yeah. Next
For the
up.
love of God, that kills me. I know, I'm harping on so many little things that should fucking matter, but kills me as a videographer. I would get somebody who does the production, give them a camera, or a tripod or something like that and work it. For God's sakes, you don't have to eat the goddamn camera. You're not the goddamn Joker.
Maybe they can get that rumored fourth member of the Shield to do it. Take that with a grain of salt, because it comes from a dirt sheet.
Yeah, right. Dirt sheets are...
Dirt.
Don't get started on that.
Yeah. So, next up, we have that match with Chris Jericho and Dolph Ziggler.
And Jericho owns pretty much all this match.
Yeah. AJ is frustrated. The crowd does the wave.
Because they're bored.
There was some interference, but it doesn't matter. And then Fandango's music plays again. Or not
that
again.
somehow distracts him.
Yeah. And it distracts the crowd. Because they're off.
You know, that's gotta be a great thing. You know, when you're trying to do a match and you're distracting the crowd by singing a stupid chant.
Yeah. Hey, it works. And Ziggler takes the advantage and pulls off the victory. So Chris Jericho is not in the title picture.
And pretty much they keep on doing with the feud with Fandango at this point.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much going to be an Extreme Rules match.
Yeah, it'll be... At least it won't be something like a dance-off. Oh, I hope it's not a dance-off.
I would not put it past.
Extreme dance-off with weapons.
I mean, when you saw what Chris Jericho does later, it might be.
Yeah. We have a backstage interview with Mick Foley. And he goes, you see, Ryback is doing what we used to do in the Attitude Era and all that stuff. He says a lot of stuff, but nothing really makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much. It pretty much comes down to, I'm going to talk to him in the ring at the last point this interview for dramatic reasons. Like I do every time Extreme Rules comes up.
Yeah. Next up, we have Tensai, a.k.a. Sweet Tea, versus Cody Rhodes. Where Tensai holds Cody upside down for about a minute before slamming him onto the ground. He also does his little spin dash move.
He once again does his Sonic the Hedgehog move?
Yeah. I'm going to call that the spin dash from this point forward. Even though it's rolling senton.
It's the same thing. You're Sonic the Hedgehogging.
Yeah. After that, you can
it'd be just as funny as if he actually jumped on top of his head.
Yeah. Santo tries to interfere, but fails at it. Tensai wins. Yay!
Hooray.
Ooh.
Don't care.
Both
up, these matches sucked.
Yeah, they did. Next up, Team Hell No are backstage. Daniel Bryan is trying to talk strategy with Kane. And he has charts and diagrams. And Kane goes, don't do that with The Undertaker. And it's like, Daniel Bryan's all like, yeah, well, why don't you call him? Why isn't he here? And he goes, he doesn't have a cell phone. By the way, don't hug him.
Yeah, Undertaker's not very touchy-feely. He's more choke slammy, punch you in the facey.
Yeah. And then, all of a sudden, the Shield throws chairs at the two individuals. Off camera.
Chairs? Oh no! You know what that means. If anybody's watched the Boondock Saints, you know what throwing a chair means.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, it's about to happen. And I'm not gonna start singing 3 Days Grace because I have a very bad voice right now. Plus, I don't want to bleed Casey's ears.
Yeah. Next up, we go backstage. Another backstage interview with the Ryback.
The Ryback?
Yeah, the Ryback. Okay. I'll go more into the Ryback later. And all that stuff. And it's getting meta.
Alright. Alright, let's just say what he did there then.
He goes, how does it feel, John Cena? How does it feel? You got beat up by the Shield and I let it happen. Ha ha ha. I'm going to talk to Mick Foley later. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, this is just getting weird.
Yeah. So,
I'm not dissing it. I'm actually kind of enjoying it, but it's getting weird.
Yeah. Next up, we have Big E with new music.
Actually, his entrance is very interesting. Do like the fact that he has a little weightlifting thing on his little side thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's
that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, he is known for that. As he takes on Zack Ryder, who is wrestling without his merchandise.
Yeah. Are you starting to suspect what I'm suspecting?
Heel turn for Zack Ryder?
No, I'm more expecting him to just be dropped off soon.
Yeah, that too. He did do a video for his True Long Island Ice Z thing. It's like, yeah, we're doing this again, and he quits right away and takes off his merchandise. So,
heel turn?
Yeah, people are thinking heel turn. And you know how great that helped. You know, the likes of, what? Let's see. JTG. Let's see. Who else? It's hard to remember all these people who turned heel before getting fired.
Yeah, it's if I had a list and diagram, maybe if I asked like Vince McMahon, he'd probably know all the lists. He'd probably know the whole damn list.
Road Warrior, Animal. Animal's still alive, right?
I don't know. It's either Hawk or Animal. I'm not sure.
Right. Well, the one that's still alive, he turned heel and then he got released.
So pretty much what we're saying is that Zack Ryder is going bye-bye.
Yeah, pretty much. I think Chuck Palumbo did that too. When he had his biker gimmick.
You know, it's kind of sad, but there you go.
Yeah. So
he probably will get better work at like a independent wrestling job.
Yeah. So Big E squashes Zack Ryder. He calls his move the Big Ending. It's not name pending anymore. It's Big Ending.
Hooray!
That's one blank.
Still doesn't make any sense of how that's supposed to hurt the opponent more than anything else.
Whatever. It's flashy. Next up.
I mean, I get the attitude adjustment. It's a giant fireman's carry.
Yeah.
It looks a little flashier, but you get why it's done. The rock bottom, smackdown on the back of your skull and back in the head. Got that. GTS. You knee somebody in the face while you're dropping them from a fireman's carry position. That makes sense.
Actually, the attitude adjustment is just a very weak burning hammer.
Oh, piss off. I got something for you right here if you want to be semantic.
Where were we? Oh, yeah. The 6-man tag, Undertaker, Kane, Daniel Bryan versus The Shield.
This was actually really fun to watch.
It was. It took up 3 segments.
Ending sucked, but
I don't know.
I was kind of, I could have gone either way with this. If who was gonna win, but the one thing I do like about this match is that Team Hell No and The Undertaker seem to be working well together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As if they're opposite. They're really trying to do the opposite of what the Shield is doing. They're actually forming tactics and actually working like a team. So something tells me that Daniel Bryan just gave a quick note summary of all his strategies.
Yeah. actually, it almost turned out exactly as he strategized, because in the backstage segment, he said that I will start first, then you come along, and da-da-da-da-da. And he started first.
And he was kicking ass through most of this.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Like, he was pulling off some amazing shit.
Yeah, crowd loved it. Crowd loved it.
Like, between him and Undertaker, they were just soaking up the audience.
Yeah. So, let's see. Daniel Bryan looked great. Undertaker, the same. There was a chant, "You still got it," for him.
Mm-hmm.
The match eventually broke down. Daniel Bryan missed the headbutt. Flying goat, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Ambrose picks up the victory.
With a roll-up.
Which,
to be fair, this was actually a 10 times better match than most other the matches that the Shield has been running. Because honestly, this one, you could argue, was more of the story that was told is that the Shield won because they were lucky.
Yeah, they didn't do their, big spots and all that stuff. I mean, the spear that usually ends the match, that didn't work this time.
Well, when you're facing off against The Undertaker, nothing works.
Yeah.
If you try to spear The Undertaker, he just gets the back up. That's how he rolls. He literally is Supermaning this.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we go backstage with Mick Foley and John Cena. Mick Foley says that he knows what he's doing, and John Cena gives him a chair.
Now, I'll talk about this later, but that's a plot point to remember about that chair.
Mm-hmm. So, next up, we have Fandango versus William Regal. Regal sighting.
Yay!
Everybody loves these two guys.
And to be quite honest, William Regal was pretty much was owning most of this match.
Mm-hmm. However, Fandango wins with his complete shot.
Still name pending.
Name pending. And dances, and then Chris Jericho then attacks on the stage.
And then throws him off.
And then dances with his dance partner, who isn't the regular one. This one's blonde.
Must be a British one.
Yeah, smoking hot.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's good. And now time for your main event. Third week in a row.
No. The main event was the Undertaker Hell No Shield match in my mind. This was not a main event.
Okay, fine. The last match of the night, 3 weeks running, is a Divas match.
Now, you couldn't make excuses for the last ones. Those were main events. I'm making an excuse right now, saying that the Undertaker match was the main event. Because everybody came for that. And shut up. Yes, I'm delusional. I just don't want the main event to end in a very stupid Divas match. It saves what bit of sanity I have left.
It was a Divas Battle Royal for the number one contendership to the title. And I thoroughly enjoyed this match. And I can tell you why, because of one thing that happened.
What, the Tamina super kick?
Yes. Knocked AJ out cold for the entire match. The way she sold it is like... She
pretty much was dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Tamina just freaking nailed her with the hammer of Thor.
And down goes AJ.
That, or she was planning this the whole time and just letting everybody beat each other up while they thought she was knocked out.
Yes, but I don't care. It was still hilarious.
It's still hilarious beyond all recognition, especially with who's who was that trying to drag her out? Layla?
Yeah, Layla.
Trying to drag her out and she's failing miserably. I was like thinking, kick her out!
Well, you can't do that. You gotta go through the ropes, not under the ropes.
No, you can go under the ropes.
Well, that's what the announcers say.
They've done that a million times where they kicked under the ropes.
I think they're still trying to establish the rules for a Divas Battle Royal.
Oh, for the love of... And it makes no sense. Why would you... If they fall out of the ring, they fall out of the ring. Their feet have to touch the floor. That's the only rule that it deserves. And sooner or later, I want that to be amended to mean any body part touching the floor.
Just to make it end quicker?
Yeah, just to make it end quicker and none of this handstand lollygagging.
So, AJ plays possum and gets the win.
Gets the win.
Yep.
And I'm just booing this entire match because that was stupid. And I muted the sound because I didn't want to hear the commentary because, no offense to Caitlyn, but what interesting things could you talk about in this match? And yes, I'm coming off very misogynistic. I know. It makes me sound like a bad person, but god damn it, these women can't wrestle. Well, at least only a few of them can. The Snuka can wrestle. That's because she's got wrestling in her blood. Same reason why Natalya can wrestle. She's got wrestling in her blood. These others can't wrestle. I mean, yes, you say Alicia Fox is doing better, but she's still gonna kill somebody.
Yeah. Next up, we have a trailer for WWE Films' new movie, No One Lives, starring Brodus Clay.
Is he the good guy or the bad guy?
I think he's a bad guy, but I can't really tell because most of the trailer was black darkness stuff.
I'll have to watch it again.
Horror. It's a horror movie.
Because, See No Evil did so well. Yes, I'm pulling that card out.
It was better than the other ones. Than a lot of the other ones.
Hey, I still find the Marine entertaining as all hell.
I'm comparing it to Knucklehead.
Knucklehead was stupid, but it was funny in that bad way.
And what was that one with Randy Orton? The Randy Orton film where he goes to the papers.
Oh, the For Who I Am.
Yeah.
I kind of liked that one just because it felt a little bit better dramatic-wise, but besides that, it wasn't anything to write home about.
Where he goes to talk to the papers.
And yeah, pretty much I was fearing the entire time when he was in there because I was afraid he was going to punt the poor lady's head off.
Oh.
But yeah. Yep, the only movie that's been great that they've been pulling out is from what I've heard, The Call is probably their best movie that they've pulled out so far. And it only failed because of the ending.
Okay, up next, the last segment. Mick Foley confronts the Ryback. Let's see. Mick Foley goes that he didn't count the beatdowns he received because he didn't do that because he's stronger and
because he can't remember most of those because he either had a concussion or was unconscious. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, it was. Ryback retorts with results matter and nicknames John Cena Super Cena.
I think somebody's listening to us. Ryback, you know you are. Admit it.
John Cena comes out.
I can just imagine him with his headphones on. Huh? This guy's got a point! Yes, and that's my John Laurinaitis voice as well.
John Cena then comes out to confront everyone, and then the Shield comes out immediately. John Cena.
And this is where I'm thinking that John Cena just pulled off some Machiavellian scheme with this chair. Either he planned to have Mick Foley use this chair, which I know this is giving him too much credit. And I've said before, I wouldn't give that too much credit, but I'm actually enjoying it because there's actually kind of characterization here.
Yeah, I guess.
Kind of. I mean, it's not full characterization, it's more characterization light. You know, half the calories, probably almost the same taste.
I guess it's as much as John Cena can handle.
Pretty much.
So, after the Shield comes down, Cena backs down and they beat up on Ryback. Ryback tries to fight, doesn't work. Cena comes back with the chair and starts beating the hell out of everyone.
Proving once again that Cena is awesome. And I'm using that sarcastically if you don't notice.
And everyone's clear and Ryback and Cena are in the ring and they're going to shake hands. But no, Cena hits the attitude adjustment. Fade to black.
It's about as much characterization as John Cena can get. And pretty much they're probably going to run with, you think I'm not trying to help you out with the Shield or something. He's going to use that somehow.
Yeah. And now to the meta part.
Alright, discuss our meta-ness.
I have called both Sheamus and Ryback the Sheamus and the Ryback. The Ryback more often. That came up today. Last night. And then the whole Super Cena thing. I mean, there was a WWE.com article about John Cena having superpowers like Superman.
Ryback. But everybody's been saying Super Cena.
Yeah. Super Cena, the Ryback,
Omega Orton.
The Omega Orton thing, and
the Omega Orton thing. Though, I do like the alliteration with that.
Yeah. It's everything that we say on the show and the internet community says to a lesser extent because we have a show.
I think that they're just listening to the show and just running with it. The writers are.
And it's freaking me out.
I find it hilarious.
Like, no, that's our thing. Don't take that away from us.
You know, they want more audience participation. There you go.
It's the Ryback.
And that's always the weird thing I find in, like, internet culture or something like that. Is they want people to recognize them as something interesting or something that they care about. But once it gets noticed, like once anime got noticed, how many posers out there said, I was into it before everybody else. They don't get it.
Yeah, that's hipster.
That's a hipster douchebag thing.
But another thing.
That's the thing I think that's coming about from it.
Yeah.
Is that they're trying to appeal to us, and we're rebelling. I mean, that's the same way I see it with, like, anime. It's like, people are accepting anime. No, I don't want you to accept it! And, like, exclusiving themselves. It's weird. Nerd culture is weird. I'm just saying that.
And another thing.
We want to be embraced, but not.
Right. Dolph Ziggler, on his Twitter feed that gets shown on air, regularly calls the fan marks.
Well, that's his Twitter feed.
Yeah, I know, but it gets shown on TV.
And you can just say that like it's his name. The name for things. Because
Heel Ziggler.
I was going to say, like, dude, his name's Heel Ziggler on there. He's metaing it already.
I know. And also the whole, during WrestleMania Access, where people are going, well, John Cena, heel turn? He does his little heel turn dance thing.
Hardy har har.
It's like,
Something tells me that the writers are just paying attention to the internet more and making fun of us.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's either pandering or just being silly for the sake of silliness.
Or they're trolling.
I want to go with pandering because it seems very stupid to troll.
I don't know.
But
this
I won't
is
put
WWE.
it past WWE.
Yeah, exactly.
They are known to troll the shit out of stuff.
Remember the Donald Trump Rosie O'Donnell match?
Like I said, I try to forget those sort of things. It keeps me saner, and the blood on the walls don't come out as much.
4 weeks until Extreme Rules. Man, we got a long way to go.
You're telling me. Oh, god damn it. The walls are starting to bleed again. We gotta finish this up.
Yeah, we gotta finish this up. So, next up, next week, we have that SmackDown match, no disqualification. Jack Swagger, Alberto Del Rio. And probably some other shenanigans from the Shield. All that stuff. More fandangoing, because they're still in England.
Yay.
Yeah. And a whole bunch more programming note. Pathfinder tomorrow on Wednesday, and later that night, I'm thinking about 7 Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. I will get back on the stream and do some games or whatever. Come bother me on Skype or something like that. Do request.
Dude, I bother you. Dude, I bother you all the time.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's that week. This week, next week, yesterweek. We'll see.
And all the weeks before.
Yes, all the weeks before.
Do you have a towel? I gotta do something about this mess.
Okay, we'll see you later on the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast.
Goddamn wall, stop bleeding!